Hello everybody. Today we're talking about SMART goals, and it's going to open the Pandora's box of stress for a lot of people. Actually, I was studying to be a personal trainer before COVID happened, and then I had to get a different job. So I actually have all my personal training books that we can reference as far as workouts and exercise and why people fail at making change. That's actually a really big part in the books. But first, everybody needs to know about SMART goals. Most people learn about them, but we're going to touch on it just in case somebody fell through the cracks. So basically, SMART goals is just a summary of structuring your plan so that you'll be successful. You can make short-term or long-term goals, but you clearly want to define your goals. So the S stands for specific. So it has to be well defined: who, what, where, when, how, or why. Measurable, you want to have a criteria to measure progress, and you want to detail key indicators. Achievable, skills, resources that are going to be needed to reach the goals. So you have to say, okay, is this realistic? Somebody who's never worked out before might not feel comfortable saying, yeah, I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, because they're still struggling with their diet. And a lot of times, to be successful in workouts, you have to be able to manage your diet. The biggest part about changing yourself is you. You know, you have all the control and nobody else does. And so the biggest thing, especially they talk about in these personal training books, is it's up to the individual. You have to be ready. And you might go and see a personal trainer and they'll be like, I don't need that person, or I don't like how they made me feel bad about myself, or whatever have you. You at least took that step. You took that step to go and talk to somebody. So that says it's important to you, but you need to work your way through that comfortability. Relevant. So it has to align with your goal, all your objectives. Everything has to align. Everything has to be relevant. You can't just throw some random stuff in there that doesn't have anything to do with your goal, or might distract you from your goal, or might complicate things or make things unclear. And then it has to be time bound. You have to have a deadline. It's just like quitting smoking. People are like, pick a date. Pick a day you're going to stop, right? So you have to have urgency, you have to have a schedule, and you have to have a plan. So they talk about making an action plan. Identify the support you'll need, the resources you need, and the training. You have to have clarity, and you have to be positive. You can tell if you're positive or not by monitoring your speech. The biggest thing you can do before you make any goals is document. I talked about this in one of my other videos. But when I started making changes, this is just a portion of the documentation I did. I would write about what I was feeling, my opinions and perspective, and then I did the same thing over years and years and years. So I have, this is actions. I've got all these notes for various times. Some of them dated. This is back from 2012. I have spirituality. This is when I read the Modern Bushido book. These are my notes, all the things that I wanted to change about myself. And it can be overwhelming. That's why I recommended those books. I don't know if anybody read them yet. But this is a good one. This is a good one. Men of the Code. It talks about changing, understanding who you are and the way you behave, and kind of giving you more information about your character and how you can develop that. But I've noticed they reference changing who you are and your behavior. They reference gardening a lot, you know, planting seeds and tending to the seeds and pulling out weeds. And we all have weaknesses, we all have flaws. And what I like about doing these videos is you guys can watch these at home and be honest with yourself, with no judgment from anyone, and not even me. And I feel like that's really good. What they talk about in chapter 2, they talk about motivation, and they say that it's a complex construct that refers to the psychological drive that gives behavior direction and purpose. There's no simple answer or magic pill to create motivation, which requires the personal trainer to practice awareness, communication, and consistency. So you have to be consistent. You have to start implementing consistency. You have to want to do it. And so, think about these goals. I want to start doing workouts, but I have this idea to do a workout where it's like, I don't want to work out. And it's just like, if you have a gym membership, you just go to the gym. You don't have to work out. You just go to the gym and lay down like you're going to stretch. A lot of times people don't even know how to stretch. So I can do some stretching videos. But the main thing is you have to figure out how to become more positive. One of the strategies I did was controlling my thoughts. And if you read Modern Bushido or Men of the Code, they talk about that your thoughts lead to actions. So being more reflective inside yourself, thinking more, spending time in quiet. And if you feel like you're having a hard time, like you're stressed out or you're overwhelmed, write about it. Write about it and get it off your chest. And then you can read it later. On days that are bad, on days that are good, you have to write it down. You have to start to understand yourself. You have to understand your behavior, because if you don't understand it, you can't change it. I'm trying to think of a strategy that would help. The only one I can think of is that anytime you think something negative, you have to call attention to it and create a trigger in yourself. Anytime you say something negative, even if it's in your mind, you have to stop and say no. You have to clearly say no in your mind. No, you're wrong. And you have to look for the good and make a positive statement. You're working out in the rain. This sucks. Everything's wet. I'm cold. But when I go home, think about how good it will feel to take that warm shower, or to cuddle up by the fire, or eat some warm food. You have to look for the good. And there's duality in life. There's good and bad. But if we didn't have the good and the bad, we wouldn't appreciate the good without the bad. So we need both of them. It's a part of life. You're not going to like everything that happens to you. You're not going to be able to control everything that happens to you. You can only control yourself. You can only control your actions and your response to others. And it's a lot of work. But there was a saying I read in one of my Tai Chi and Qigong books. And it was, time, patience, and effort is how you develop your Gung Fu. And your Gung Fu is basically your skills. So everything takes time, patience, and effort. And everything that's worth anything has a level of time, patience, and effort that you have to pay. And you have to be willing to figure out what that is. I could read you a chapter in here that talks about all the benefits. And it still won't make some people change. But this video isn't for those people. This video is for you. Those of you out there that want to change, that need additional resources, right? You need support, resources, and training. This is where you'll get it. I feel like this stuff should be free. A lot of people can't afford a personal trainer. But if you go to the library, you can check out personal training books. They may be out of date, but they're going to have the same information. And knowledge is empowering. So if you do anything, set a goal today that you're going to read a book. And so this book, so it's going to be one book a day. I wrote on behind this, but I don't want to talk about that. So this is going to be our goal. This is a realistic goal. Everybody has eyes. You don't know how to read. I can't help you with that, but maybe you can find somebody. So the first goal is read men. I'm having problems writing right now. Men of the Code or Modern Bushido. First you have to buy it. So that'll take about, we'll say 2 weeks. So by the first month, you have to read the first chapter. And you have to take notes. Okay? Or at least let's say 1 chapter. Not first, but 1 chapter. And I could read 1 chapter a night. It takes about 10 minutes. So that's not very much time. But you have to make time. You have to make it a priority. And you have to do it every night. You have to say, 8:30, I'm setting an alarm. So that's a strategy. Set an alarm. Maybe you want to read it in the morning. Maybe you're a morning person. Set an alarm. Put it in a calendar. And look it. I don't know, it's messy handwriting, sorry. It doesn't matter to anyone else, these goals. These are your goals, okay? If you don't use integrity when you set your goals, the only person it hurts is you. And you can have loved ones that care about you, but this is your life. This is your health. You know, this is the difference, like getting a hold of yourself, being okay with who you are and developing yourself, developing your skills. It's only going to help you. And it's going to help you to not suffer as much and not let things affect you as much. It's helped my stress level a lot. I used to have anxiety. I mean, we can go into that. I'll probably cry a lot in my videos when I talk about my stuff, but, you know, I care about you guys, and I know you can do it. I've been through some rough stuff, and I'll share some stories later, but I know you can do it because I've done it. I'm self-taught. I don't have any degrees. I didn't go to college like, you know, I mean, I took some courses, but I don't have a bachelor's degree. You know, I'm an amateur, and I've accomplished a lot, and I know you guys can too. So this is, you know, you just gotta think it out. You know, what are the little things that I can do? These are structured goals. So, and you can find it on the internet. You can Google SMART goals on the internet and find this information. It's free out there. So leave some comments on this video and let me know specifically what you struggle with, what you want to hear more about. Otherwise, I'm just going to go off on wherever I'm going to go. So thank you for joining me. I know you're probably excited because I did so many videos, but I want to do more cooking videos too. I did want to give one strategy because one of my followers said they struggle with soda. And I used to drink soda too. And one good thing that you can do, especially if you're already working out, is you can just stop doing soda and start doing that fizzy water. They have them in cans, but you can get bottled fizzy water that doesn't have any sugar in it. And you can either add juice to it with aminos, or you can do just the fizzy water. I know some people quit drinking beer that way as well. And if you drink a lot, that's probably a good one to give up. But if you go to truenutrition.com, I'll leave it in the comments or in the description of the video. truenutrition.com, and you can get fruit punch flavored BCAAs, which are branched chain amino acids. It's everything you need. You know, it's you can feel good about drinking it. It's not going to be Mountain Dew. It's not going to be Coca-Cola, but it's going to be good for your body. I mean, you're going to feel good about drinking it. And it's not going to taste as tasty, but, you know, it's a sacrifice. Every sacrifice you make for yourself, you should feel good about it. And you're not going to be perfect. You're going to fail. You're going to go, well, it's just this one time, or who cares? And if you do, it doesn't mean it's all over. You can always say, okay, I messed up, but I'm good. And measure how long it is between you giving in. And that's one of the, that's measurable, right? You want to measure, okay, last month I cheated one time. The next month I didn't cheat at all. And then pretty soon you don't even want to drink the soda because you've worked so hard and you've come so far, you don't want to ruin everything. And I mean, I really don't drink soda anymore, but it might take you 10 years to get there. You just have to start setting little goals. Little goals you know you can reach. Maybe you drink a soda a day and you go, I'm only going to drink a soda every other day. I'm only going to drink a soda once a week. And I have to be to that place by the end of the year or next month. You get to pick it. And you can beat your goals. You can exceed your goals. You can say, well, I'll go once a week in 3 months, and then next thing you know, in 1 month you're doing it. Well, I'm just going to fast track to the next goal. So it's motivating. This is how you motivate yourself. You show yourself that you can strengthen yourself and overcome your challenges. So, sorry if this video is too long, but goals are very important to everything you do. And they help you manage your time and prioritize. So we can talk about that stuff more later, but it's been a long day. Thanks for sticking with me and watching my videos. Have a good night, guys.